DreAllDay.com.
What's good, everybody? Dre Baldwin with DreAllDay.com. Everybody's seen a garden before, right? Y'all know what a garden is. You plant seeds in the garden, you water the garden, make sure it gets good enough sunlight, gets a lot of sunlight, give it some time, make sure the dirt that the seeds are planted in is good, fertile ground. Make sure the weeds stay away from your seeds. Then eventually you got a beautiful garden, or some flowers, or some grass, or a tree, whatever it is you planted. Your mind is the exact same thing, but what I want to explain to you, because I'm sure you've heard that before, what I want to explain to you is every single element, everything that comes around you, or everything that you put into your mind, or gets put in your mind in whatever way, it doesn't matter if it comes from you or somebody else, all of those are affecting your garden. All of those are affecting your seed. Let me explain what I mean. When it comes to your thoughts, let's say you got an idea in your mind, I'm going to become the greatest basketball player, or I'm going to start the next Amazon, or I'm going to create the next Facebook. That's a seed that you're planting in your mind. You understand, for you to do that, from the time you have the idea to the time it actually happens, it's going to take some time, right? It's going to be a little bit of space between the idea and everything coming to fruition. The space between planting a seed and having an apple tree, and you can go pick some apples and eat them, right? Everybody understands that. But this is what you also have to understand. Every thought that you have between now and then, between now the idea and then when the tree actually grows and starts producing fruit, is affecting your seed. And if you put too many bad elements around that seed, into that same ground that the seed is in, it's going to choke off and strangle your seed, and it will never come to fruition. So here's a challenge that I see happening often with, I'll use athletes as an example. An athlete will come to me and say, Dre, I've been watching your videos for a long time. I've been doing the drills and all this, and I work out this many hours, and I'm trying to do this and trying to do that, all the things that they want to achieve. Then they say, but you know, sometimes I have these thoughts that I might not make it, or I'm wasting my time, or all of this is going to be for nothing because I see these people over here doing this and this guy over here is doing that, and I read in this magazine that this person did this at this age, and I'm already this age and I didn't do it, so I don't know if I'm wasting my time or not. I don't know what I should do. That's the kind of messages I get all the time. This is what you got to understand. That entire message, the fact that you said it, the fact that you wrote it down, and the fact that you're probably thinking it for 3 weeks before you even send an email to me, maybe you said it to like 10 other people too, see what everybody says to your challenge. All of those are like planting weeds. I don't know if there's such thing as planting a weed, but you get what I'm saying. It's like you're planting weeds next to the seed that you just put down in the ground. Now you're going to plant a whole bunch of weeds around it, and you're going to water the weeds so they can grow too and kill your seed. This is what you got to understand. Every single thought, every word, every idea, every feeling, every energy that you experience, whether it came from you or somebody else said it and you decide to accept it or bask in it or marinate in it, all of those things are going into your garden. And you put too much garbage in your garden. Y'all seen it before. You ever walk past somebody's house, or you walk past an empty lot and it's supposed to be, it could be grass there. You see the dirt, but it's nothing growing. There's a whole bunch of weeds, or is there a whole bunch of dirt, or maybe a bunch of dog shit and piss and trash. Why? Because nobody's tending to the garden. Nobody's tending to that garden. There may be some seeds in there that have the potential to be great. There may be a peach tree seed, maybe some apple tree seeds, grass seeds, roses, whatever it is you can plant in a garden. There may be seeds of those things all throughout that barren dirt patch that you walk past every single day. The fact of the matter is, those seeds and trees cannot grow because there's too much garbage going on around it. If you got the garbage out of the way and somebody actually tended to the soil and it got some rainwater and it got some sun, there would be a plant there. There would be a flower there. There'd be a tree there. There'd be an entire garden there. And it's the same thing in your mind. So this video is for those of you who you've been working hard for a long time. You've been putting in a lot of work into the thing that you want to do. You've been thinking about it, you've been planning for it, you've been getting the information. Maybe you're reading books, you're watching videos on YouTube, you're doing whatever you got to do to get yourself out there, or at least get the information to get yourself out there, and you feel like you're not making the right type of progress. I guarantee you this is why you're not getting there. The reason you're not making the right type of progress actually is two reasons. Number one, you have some unrealistic expectations about what you should be achieving in X period of time. I mean, I had a basketball player come to me talking about he used the signature manual for 7 days and he didn't see dramatic results. I'm like, yo, you've been a bum for 15 years. Now you use a program for 7 days and it's supposed to change your entire life, and you have unrealistic expectations of what it's supposed to do. I mean, that's number one. Some people just think, oh, I'm supposed to become dramatically great because I worked out every day for 3 months. That's not the way basketball works. It's not the way anything works, actually. Basketball or life in general. It's not going to be the quick thing. You got to be in it for the long haul until you get there. And the number two reason, or number two, option B, is actually not the number two reason, number one reason, but option B of why people aren't getting the results that they want is because you got a whole lot of garbage in your garden. You got the right stuff in your garden, but you got a whole lot of not right stuff in your garden at the same time. So it's not just, see, people, when people come to me, you know what they say? They tell me all these great things that they're doing. All the things they're doing, it looks like they're doing all the right stuff, but then they only mention maybe one or two little things that they think are holding them back. Yeah, but it's not usually one or two. It's usually 7, 8, 10, 100 things that they're doing that's holding them back. It's the thoughts. The thoughts that are going through your mind every day. It's like, I mean, it's like throwing weeds, or it's like, it's not even planting weeds. I don't think you can plant weeds. I think weeds just happen. It's like you see weeds. You go not seaweed, but see weeds. You walk past your garden and you see there are weeds growing in the garden, but you don't do anything. You kind of like, whatever. I'll get to it when I get to it. It don't matter. The seeds are going to grow anyway. All those weeds are so small, they're not going to do anything to my plants. See, if you don't go and actively get rid of the negative influences that are in your mind, those negative influences will attack, and those negative influences will be enough. Even if they don't kill the seed, they're going to be enough to slow the progress of the seed, which is why you've been working on your game every day for 3 years and you still don't have the game that you have, because the progress has been slowed down because of the fact that the weeds are there and you didn't do anything to get rid of the weeds. So when you have a negative thought or a negative idea, or somebody says something to you that could be taken as negative, you have to mentally make the choice to get rid of that influence, whatever it was. Somebody said something, you got to mentally come up with something in your mind that cancels it out. Or maybe you had a negative thought, an idle negative thought. You got to come up, you in your mind got to, it's kind of like playing a game, figure out how can you cancel out that negative thoughts that just got shared with you, or just popped up in your mind from nowhere, maybe from your subconscious or something like that. Y'all got to understand this. This is very important, because many people work and work and work and work for years. A lot of people work. I work. I mean, a lot of people work on whatever you're working on, and you put in a lot of work for a lot of time, and at some point you get to the point you're like, damn, after all this, I was expecting to have gotten more results than what I've gotten. Like, this is all I got after all this time. This is all I had to show from all this effort, all this money invested, all this time I put into it, me doing all the right things and all this information I gathered. This is all I had to show for it. Many people have that conversation with themselves. So I want to let you know there are many people who have reached very high levels of success, by whatever way you define it, who had the same conversation with themselves as you're having with yourself. And here's the thing, this is what I want you to know also. There are many more people, a much bigger number of people, who have had the same conversation with themselves who did not reach success because they decided to give up. They quit. Probably because they didn't have me have this conversation with them. I'm having this conversation with you so that you understand, number one, you got to give a seed time to grow, and number two, if your seed's not growing as fast as you think it is, don't just think that it's time. Don't think it's just time has to catch up with you. No, you need to check what is in your garden. You need to check, you had the right seeds planted in your garden, first of all. Is the soil being taken care of? Are you getting in enough water? Are you getting in enough sunlight? I.e., what does all those things mean? The soil, the water, and the sunlight. What are you talking about, Dre? It means, are you reinforcing every single day? Are you reinforcing your goals with positive thoughts, positive influences, positive feelings, positive self-talk? Are you reinforcing how you want to achieve, where you want to get to? Are you reinforcing it every single day with your thoughts, your words, and your actions? Because if you are not, that means you're not. It's like you plant a seed and then you put it in the shade and it doesn't get any sun. So it's not going to grow. All right, photosynthesis is the what do they call it? The process of sun. The sun is what makes plants grow. If y'all didn't know that, now you know. All right, it needs sun. All right, there are very few plants that can grow without sun. There are a handful of them, but most of them won't. Okay, if you're not putting any water in the garden, the seed's not going to grow. All right, everything needs water to live. Any living thing needs water. Okay, animals, humans, and plants. And tending to the soil. Are you making sure your mind is open? Is your mind open to receiving? Are you open to success? People think they're open to success because they talk about it all day. That doesn't mean you're open. Are you really open to success? There's a book called The Go-Giver that talks about that in detail. Go look that book up. The Go-Giver. Anyway, that's the message that I want y'all to get from this video. And if you ever feel like success is taking too long for you, you rewatch this video, because it's probably that your garden is not being taken care of.